Again, welcome, and I want to introduce our first speaker, Miguel de Bruycker. Miguel, you've been here almost 10 years. On the 17th of August, it will be your 10th birthday here at the Center for Cybersecurity Belgium. I've joined about 2 years after you, and we've had a very, very great time. We've done a lot of crazy things here at the CCB, but I'm sure that a lot of new ideas will pop up and a lot of new things will come up.
Thank you very much, Kevin, for that nice introduction. So yes, we are here for, let's say, almost 10 years. In a little bit more than 1 month, it will be 10 years. We have been created by royal decree under the authority of the Prime Minister. And actually, we started with 2 people, Fedra as my deputy and myself. And actually, we are the national authority. We're not only the national CSIRT, we're also the national authority for cybersecurity. We're also the national coordination center. We're also the national certification authority. So we have a lot of different responsibilities in the country. And allow me to just introduce this seminar with some ideas. And let me first of all talk about governance of cybersecurity. What is so important, and we are working so hard to get clear definitions of the authorities and the responsibilities in the country. So you have the national responsibilities, you have sectorial responsibilities, you have regional responsibilities, you have different legal frameworks, you have NIS2, you have critical infrastructure, CER laws, you have military responsibilities. And then we introduce once again all new concepts like hybrids and resilience building suddenly, and it's suddenly about defense cyber operations. And it's very difficult to make sure that you have clear definitions of who is doing what. And when in April we were all sitting together on EU level, only 7 countries were completely ready with their NIS2 implementation out of 27. And the due date was October last year. And I think one of the main reasons is the difficulty to define the clear authorities, who is responsible for what. That's the first element. That's why we have written our new cybersecurity strategy, but we have also written a higher level text identifying different different domains like cybersecurity, cyber law enforcement, cyber defense, and cyber diplomacy. It's so important to clearly distinguish those domains, to have somebody or some service being in the chair, being the pilot of that domain, and then to talk to each other and to see, okay, where is cybersecurity ending, and for instance, where is cyber law enforcement starting, and vice versa. And finally, in a governance level, we discovered last year that online scams and fraud are often forgotten, and it's not really a cybersecurity domain, but still it's so important because of the huge impact on the population and the way that it is growing. And we also saw that responsibilities in that subdomain are so much scattered over different financial and consumer responsibility domains and authorities. So it's very much scattered around, and it's a domain that we really have to work on. My 2 cents to the involving threat. Well, as every presentation, you at least need once AI. So I put it in red to make sure that everybody saw that. Also in my presentation, I have AI. But I think that the difference, if you look at cybercrime, what AI means for cybercrime will be speed and precision. It's all about speed. And those cyber criminals and cyber actors in general will be able to use that AI in a much faster way and in a much better way to launch different attacks. There is a lot of economic pressure in the world. Economy is uncertain. There is uncertainty, meaning that systems are not replaced that fast. And investments in cybersecurity are, let's say, hold and are not that huge anymore, meaning that I think there is more low-hanging fruit. If you look at the way that leaked credentials are the basis to most of the incidents, and that it is so difficult for us to make sure that people implement multi-factor authentication, I see that there is a lot of low-hanging fruit. And on the other hand, also thanks to or due to artificial intelligence, there is a rise in zero-day attacks. So it's easier to learn a model how to detect vulnerabilities in new versions of software, new versions of systems. So we'll have to be careful that where 0 days were very expensive and very difficult to use, in the future, we might see more of those popping up. And finally, in my last few minutes, I think, there is, of course, the geopolitical evolution, where we see a lot of scanning, a lot of reconnaissance, a lot of backdoors being installed. We have to think about sovereignty in cybersecurity. What about different supply chain risks and high-risk vendors? How do we handle that? And finally, not really cybersecurity, but something that has to be clearly identified. I hope not within cybersecurity in Belgium, but there must be a clear responsible for influence operations and disinformation. So this was actually my 2 cents as an introduction to this small webinar, this conference online. And I would like to thank you to be present and to enjoy the presentations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Miguel. It's very interesting indeed. A lot of people kind of don't have that basic cyber hygiene like MFA, something we all need to work on. So definitely something that everybody needs to keep in mind. There was one question, Miguel. I don't know if you have time to answer this one.
Yes, please.
It is, what are the plans to become also CER2 ready?
For the SER entities, as I understood, our cyber fundamentals framework that in June has also been co-signed by Ireland and is now Belgian, Romanian, and Irish. That framework will also count for the cybersecurity aspects, also for SER entities. So by default, there should not be a separate framework for SER entities than for the NIS2 entities.
Thank you very much for that. That was the only question we had so far. Again, reminder, if you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A section. We'll try to answer as many as we can live on stage, and all the others will try to answer just offline in the chat. All right. Thank you very much, Miguel.